Hello, welcome back to a new video on 1.2, uh, how to read and write limit notation. Here we have an example of, or a definition, if you might say, of limits. So here, right here, that I circled, I don't know why I circled twice, and it's already boxed. Here, lim is a shorthand for limits, or limit. So this is written or said, it differs from, oh, it can be read differently by person. So I read it as the limit of x approaches c from the function of x equals L. L is limit. Some people use, for example, here we have the AP College Board version of it. The AP College Board version of it. Here we have different ways of saying that. It, here the limit of f of x as x approaches c is r, or the limit of x approaches c of f of x is r, as the x approaches c, the limit of f of x is r. So for maths, it's way better to learn things written down, because if you're if you can under understand or comprehend like equations or formulas at first, it is best to understand it in word format, so it can be easier because you understand the words, and the words can be further broken down. So I'm gonna move on. Uh, I'm gonna just regurgitate myself here and say, given a function x f, the limit of f of x as x approaches c is a real number r, if f of x can be made abbreviatedly close to x by taking x sufficiently closer to c but not equal to c, that will equal to your limit. So this is how the AP College would uh, notate it. I personally don't do that, but it makes sense. The R is for real numbers. You can approach, well, what I know of, you cannot approach a complex number slash imaginary number. Imaginary numbers, remember, the square root of 1, just to remind you. So here we have practice examples. So you go on and try it, pause the video and give it a try. Okay, since you paused the video and tried it, um, the function g of x is is modeling behavior around the value x equals 3. It is found that the limit g of x equals g of x as x approaches 3 equals 17. Write this limit as a sentence. As x approaches, actually, I don't know how to write it down. As x approaches 3 from the function g of x, the limit will be 17. You can really read it. I'll change the format. Um, Oh, actually, 8, 18. There you go. That's readable. As x approaches 3 from the function g of x, the limit will be 17. So that's a possible answer choice that you can put. Uh, Mine is right, but there's other versions that are right. I'm not saying this is the only way that it can be written in sentence format, but that's the way I wrote it down. For number 2, it is found that h of t can be abbreviated close to 7 by making t abbreviated closer to 5. Write this relationship with a mathematical statement. Mathematical statements are basically what we've been reading this whole time. Lim, oh, can you say again? Lim approaches t 7 from the function of h of t equals 7. And here we have another example. From the graph of S of x, show what do you suspect of this value of limit approaches as the limit approaches 3 from the function of S of x. Give it a try. Pause the video and give it a try. Okay, let me check if I'm recording. Yes, I am. Okay, I was scared. Okay, let's continue. So for these, um, you haven't learned this yet, but I'll mention it here. And this is for the other lesson. So for this to be true, the limit of x approaches 3 minus, or 3 from the left, of x equals 3 has to equal to the limit x approaches. That looks like a K. Might let me rewrite that. X approaches 3 from the right hand side. So for these, you just a good way to think about it is you're coming from the left side or the positive side. You're going to the right. And for these, the positives, you're coming from the positive side and you're going towards the negative side, or the your right hand towards the left hand. So this can be an analogy here. You can get your hands and your both hands, and one of your hands, your left hand, makes an L. Think about it as the limit is approaching x, as x is approaching 3 from the left side hand, and the L is pointed direction towards the function. Your thumb is the direction, and this can be applicable to the right hand. So I hope that was a good terminology. Analogy, my bad. So yes, these two have to be equal to give you this, your limit. It's a combination of both hands, from the left and the both, uh, left and right, my bad. So let's continue. So as x approaches 3, 3 That's a way better line. Okay, lie. Just gonna rewrite it. The limit has to approach from both sides. And it's approximately approaching to here, which will be one, 1 1/2. For these are going to be in the next lesson, so discontinuities. So be on the lookout for that. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. This is the graph. This is a table of values. From the table of values of q of t shown, which of the following is the most likely value of t approaches t t approaching 2 from the function of q to q of t. So give it a try and pause the video. Okay, since you paused the video, here we go. So here we see that it's approaching 2. Can I change colors? Yeah, have some diversity here. So these are getting closer and closer to 2. The t's. This means because there's most likely a hole here, a discontinuity. Again, this is going to be in 1.3, so don't worry about it. If you don't know, you don't know. Knowledge isn't about knowing everything. Knowledge is about continuously learning. And it is approaching from this direction as well. So this is the left hand, or the left side, and this is the positive side. So think about it like that, if you understood the previous knowledge. But it's approaching 2 here, as we can see. But what these two numbers have in common are that they're approaching negative 3.5. Interesting, right? This is an approximation, but yes, your answer would be C. The reason why your answer wouldn't be D or D, yes, it's because think about it. It's increasing here. So it will be 3.5. And here it's reasonable. Why? It's a possibility from approaching this side. So yes, but no. So let's move on to this one here. Okay, give it a try. Okay, it is found that as x approaches pi, corresponding value of a function L of x approaches the value of e, which of the following is a equivalent statement. So here I've I think I mixed them up, but or not. This is how it was presented first, but we can look at this multiple choice. But if you've done it on your own without the multiple choice, that's good. You're writing, no, not proofs. That's completely something else. My bad. You're writing the notation for limits. So good job. So I would have written it as the limit of x approaches pi of the function of L of x equals e. I think the e is Euler's constant. Euler's constant is 2.718 e. and pi is equal to 3.1415.9. So I wouldn't say they're irrational. I, don't quote me there. So yes, we can use this answer to answer the multiple choice. So this one, it does not have the limb. The limb is very important to signify that it's a limit. So, and B is also the same thing. So here we have the limit as x approaches e from the function of L of x equals pi. This is this e and pi are reversed. So no. And here the limit as x approaches pi from the function of L of x equals e is the answer. But let's take a look on the other ones. The limit of f of x as x approaches c equals e. This would get someone confused, and I understand, but since there's no pi, it's probably mentioning as radius. So 180. 180 degrees. Pi in radian is 180 degrees transferred to degrees. So 180 degrees, yeah, pi. Yeah, in radians, my bad. Oh, that's very important for the in a couple lessons. So yeah, trick. And that's why it's wrong. And the limit of x approaches c, well, see, this has the same thing, but here we have pi as the limit. So no, it should be e. The value should be e. And here, these two would get students confused. I understand how. If you look at it here, and but this one you can cross out because you instantly see the pi here. That's why it's wrong. But here we have e. Well, I did too many overlays. So here we have e as the limit is approaching x, as the limit of f of x of L of e. I don't know if I've been saying it wrong this whole time, but my apologies if I have. Approaching e, it will equal to pi. That is wrong from the given response that we were given. So yes, and the limit of x of pi as x approaches pi of the function of L of e equals e. This would be wrong because there's an e here. It should have been an x. So yes. And this wraps up the video. Thank you for watching. And if you need further assistance, uh, go ahead and check out my Discord. My Discord is meant to help people. But I personally do only math for right now. I'm trying to branch out, but it's gonna take me a while. But thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.